The Battle of Stalingrad, a name etched into history as a symbol of horror, heroism, and the turning tide of World War II. Between July 1942 and February 1943, the city of Stalingrad, modern-day Volgograd, became the epicenter of one of the deadliest battles the world has ever seen. Adolf Hitler ordered the German Sixth Army to capture Stalingrad, not just for its strategic location on the Volga River, which was vital for transport and oil routes, but for its symbolic power. The city bore the name of Soviet leader Joseph Stalin himself. Hitler believed that seizing Stalingrad would crush Soviet morale and deliver a decisive psychological blow. Yet Stalingrad was no ordinary city. Its factories, residential blocks, and rubble-strewn streets became a fortress of resistance. What followed was urban warfare of an intensity rarely witnessed before. Every street, every building, and even every room became a battleground. Soldiers fought in ruins, in sewers, basements, and factories. Snipers lurked on rooftops, picking off anyone who dared to show themselves. The distinction between soldiers and civilians often disappeared in the chaos. By late 1942, the German Sixth Army, under General Friedrich Paulus, had seized large portions of the city. But the Soviet Red Army refused to retreat. Stalin's order, "not one step back," rang through the ranks. Civilians and soldiers alike were prepared to fight to the death to defend their city. The Soviets fortified positions in factories, schools, and even homes. Every street became a deadly trap for advancing German troops. Amidst this destruction, ordinary human stories of courage and suffering unfolded. Children hid in cellars while their parents worked tirelessly to survive the bombardments. Soldiers scrounged for food, sharing what little they had with comrades. Snipers, both German and Soviet, engaged in tense standoffs across shattered streets. Every building captured was a Pyrrhic victory, costing lives by the hundreds. In November 1942, the Soviets launched Operation Uranus, a brilliant counteroffensive designed to encircle the German forces. They attacked from the weaker flanks of the German army, trapping Paulus and his men inside the city. Cut off from supplies and reinforcements, the Germans faced starvation, bitter cold, and relentless attacks. The temperature in Stalingrad fell to unimaginable lows, sometimes as low as -30 degrees Celsius, -22 degrees Fahrenheit, freezing soldiers in the streets and turning the Volga River into a deadly trap for those attempting to escape. Hitler's orders were strict: fight to the last man. Paulus, unable to resist, stayed, and the once proud German Sixth Army became prisoners of circumstance in winter. Soldiers suffered from frostbite, disease, and hunger. Many were forced to eat horses and even dogs to survive. Meanwhile, Soviet forces systematically reduced their defenses, block by block, slowly strangling the German army. By February 1943, after months of horrific fighting, the German Sixth Army finally surrendered. Over 90,000 German soldiers were taken prisoner, and hundreds of thousands of men, women, and children had lost their lives. Entire divisions were annihilated, leaving behind a city in ruins and families devastated. The human cost of Stalingrad was staggering. The defeat at Stalingrad was more than just a tactical loss. It marked the beginning of the end for Nazi Germany's eastern ambitions. The psychological impact was immense. Hitler's aura of invincibility shattered, while the Soviet Union gained momentum and confidence. From this point onward, the Red Army began its push westward, reclaiming territory and gradually turning the tide of the war in favor of the Allies. The Battle of Stalingrad is remembered not only for its scale and ferocity, but for the resilience of those who endured unimaginable suffering. It was a battle of ideology and survival, of cities and symbols, of men and women caught in the machinery of war. It demonstrated the extreme human cost of conflict, where strategy and propaganda intersected with desperation and courage. Stalingrad became a legend, a grim testament to the price of war. It was a place where heroism and tragedy coexisted, where millions bore witness to the extremes of human endurance. The city's ruins would tell the story of a turning point, a moment when the fate of nations shifted and the relentless advance of Nazi Germany finally met its match. In remembering Stalingrad, we remember more than statistics or military maneuvers. We remember the faces of the civilians who fled or hid in bombed-out buildings. We remember soldiers frozen in trenches and snipers perched in ruins. We remember the suffering, the heroism, and the stark lesson that war spares no one. The Battle of Stalingrad. It was a nightmare of fire and ice, courage and loss. It was the beginning of the end for Hitler's Eastern Front, a testament to human endurance, and a haunting reminder that even in the darkest moments, history can pivot, forever changing the course of the world.